Hey guys, I lost track of myself a little bit there. Um, Happy Monday, start of a new week. It is February 5th, 2024, and just about 1:15 or so, a little late in coming on. We'll keep it relatively short today, I think. I'm looking up a few things. Mergansers. I think I'm saying that right. Merganser? It's a bird. It's a duck. I've never seen one until today. Well, actually, we saw one a few days ago, from a distance, and I was thinking they were geese, but small geese. Um, and then today I got a close up. Didn't get a photo. I am not much of a photographer, not much of a photo taker. Mocha, however, is a wonderful photographer, specifically for nature. She has more patience for that, I think. And we all have patience for our thing, if that makes sense. I I can sit and wait for words, knowing that the right one, the perfect one, will come to me, and all I have to do is sit. I don't have to strive for it. I don't have to reach for it. I just have to allow it to arrive to where I am, in front of my desk, at my keyboards, and it always does. Other people say they can't do that. They're either inspired and they need to write now, or they don't write at all. Um, but whatever their particular thing is, they have great patience for. For me, um, patience is synonymous with love. What we love, we show great patience towards. We don't rush anything that we love because we know that there is a time, there's a rhythm, there's a cadence to how love is active through our lives. So there's no need to rush it. Presence alone is enough. Just the presence of that thing, that activity, that action that we love is enough. Here's a good example, and I'm glad he popped in. Odom's Homestead. When you watch um, Odom on his channel, you see great patience and great care. He knows the way of nature. You don't rush a seedling. You don't rush um, what you're doing because the wisdom, it's not your wisdom, it's the wisdom of nature. And your true role is learning how to work with it, not against it. I can guarantee, and I'm nowhere near um, that point of wisdom that Odom is, but I can guarantee that if you try to control the ways of nature, if you try to plant too early, if you harvest too soon, you're going to fail. You learn by doing, you learn by the love that you have for that. Odom says, yes, patience is key. And you demonstrate that perfectly. And as I said at the beginning, patience is synonymous with love. If you didn't love what you were doing, you wouldn't have patience for it. And you wouldn't have the results that you do. It's the same with anything in life. If you watch any parent with their child and you see that patience and you love, that doesn't mean that people don't every so often lose their patience. We're human. Things like that happen. But we quickly return to baseline. We quickly, and you see that with parents. They might momentarily lose their patience, but then they're quickly back in. They're fall into that rhythm. They're apologetic. They set everything back in order. Um, it's not saying that I don't have moments during my writing where I might look at my clock and think, I'm usually done my writing by now. I need these words to start arriving. But then I return to baseline. And I know writing happens on its own. I'm just fortunate to be the conduit between inspiration and the keyboards. I'm that in-between space. Odom says, I have patience in the garden, um, but don't so much in life. I have to work on that. You know, a way to approach it? Everything's your garden, Odom. It's just a different soil. People at work, family, strangers, traffic. It's all your garden. But again, it's just different soil. If we approach everything as if it is um, it contains the essence of what we love, everything's transformed. The art of Tantra, we think of Tantra, the common thought of Tantra is one of sexual energy. But all Tantra really is the transformation of base energy into finer and finer and finer, more subtle energy. So it takes that base layer. Perfect example is a seed. You take the base layer of soil and a seed and you plant it and you nurture it and it grows into that subtle essence. The seed breaks open and it becomes whatever plant that it is. Our friend Destiny is here. Hello, Eric, and happy Monday. Thank you. Happy Monday to you as well, Destiny. Saying hi to Odom. How's everyone doing? Blessings and love. Thank you. I began talking about, and again, I don't know if I'm saying this right, mergansers, hooded merganser, which is a duck and it has a hood. I saw one a couple days ago and we thought they might be small geese and we were only seeing them from the distance. But today I saw one up close. I saw a couple up close. Amazing looking birds. I've never seen one before. I absolutely love having new arrivals. I'll be walking with Mocha tomorrow and hopefully we'll get one on film. It's also inspired me, and I'll share it here for the first time. I'm going to buy a small camcorder and add some nature videos to my channel. Just things that I see as I'm walking, as I'm running, meandering, and just do little clips, shorts maybe, of the things I see and hopefully get the merganser, which got me in line of thinking in terms of Mocha. She has much more patience with photography than I do, and she's very good at it. And there's a connection. You become good at the things that you have patience for. As well, as I've mentioned several times, that patience is synonymous with love. We are always patient with that which we love. Doesn't mean that we don't appreciate or love something that we're impatient with. It just means that we're so deeply in love with this one activity that we're willing to put up. It's not even putting up with. We're willing to embrace all of that stuff. Destiny says, that's an exciting experience, Eric. I would love to see that type of bird. I've never heard of them. I sort of briefly knew what they were, but because they're not around in this area or they haven't been before, it was always in the back of my mind. Something that doesn't exist here, but I knew somewhere out there they were a possibility. Last year we had cormorants, which is a very prehistoric looking bird, almost like a cross between a goose and a heron. It really does look like something that came out of prehistoric age. And we had one that hung around for quite a few months. And we also had, we have blue herons here. But last year, for the first time, I saw green herons, which are amazing looking birds. They're compact. They stand about this tall. And then when they're hunting and they see something, all of a sudden their neck expands this high out of nowhere. And this long beak. Amazing. And then we actually had a bear wander through the neighborhood. A couple bears wander through the neighborhood. The nearest bear population in my area is about an hour away. So when we get one wandering down, wandering down from there. Every couple of years they'll do it. Um, it's a I didn't get a chance to see it, but I knew it was there. I saw some friends of mine saw it. Sometimes it's enough just to know you have something wild in your neighborhood. We also have the occasional coyote wandering through. We have foxes. I love my area. I love my neighborhood. As I've mentioned before, I love my hometown. So, um, nature, nature itself is patience. The closer we are to nature, the more patient we are, because we know we can't rush a season. We can't rush through a rainstorm. It's going to rain as long as it rains. Nothing we can do about it. Um, we have to embrace the season that we're in. It's a hard thing for me to do because I've suffered low-lying depression for much of my life, and it gets worse in colder weather in the winter because I'm expanding a little less energy. It's harder to get out, especially when when ice and it's snow. My walks are shorter, but if you learn to embrace weather, if you learn to embrace the seasons, doesn't mean you have to like them. Doesn't mean you have to fall in love with them, although you sort of do. You fall in love with what they offer, even if it's not exactly what you want. Odin says, sorry, I got caught in the office for a minute. Back now. Thanks. Appreciate you being back. Um, Destiny says, I love seeing new arrivals too from the animal kingdom. I look at this as a sign of new change in life to grow into new direction on your journey. Me talking again, Eric. I appreciate hearing that. One of my favorite things to write about is our own personal shamanic journeys. That nature is always telling us something. We are all shamans, but we forgot how to listen to nature. And as Destiny just showed and just said, we can learn how to do it. Destiny is, she is wise enough to know to look at that new arrival, whatever it might be, and interpret it. What does it mean to her? It's a great thing. A lot of people, when they study non-dualism, when they study the non-dual traditions of yoga, of Buddhism, even Christianity in some sense, and they talk about the great void or emptiness, and that life in and of itself doesn't have meaning. As Shakespeare himself said, that nothing is good nor bad unless thinking makes it so. That's actually a wonderful thing. That means that we get to invoke meaning from the world that we're part of, that we're participants in the world. And through our act of participation, through the fact that we belong so deeply in every fiber, the fabric of the universe itself, means as an extension of universal consciousness, we get to find that meaning. It's ours. When a merganser, and again, I might be saying it wrong, shows up in my neighborhood pond, that's a message for me, personally. Nature telling me something. The key is not to misinterpret it, not to get my ego involved and say, this is telling me that I'm going to do this or whatever. The message is always subtle. The message, back to the beginning, is always patience, it's always love, it's always understanding, it's always about our participatory nature in the universe itself. Again, the key is make sure the ego doesn't get involved to the extent that we're building ourselves up to be this divine receiver. We're all divine receivers because we're all receiving. Everything's coming directly to us. Um, Destiny says, have you figured out the new live format? You just can't see everyone in the chat. I haven't. I It looks the same on my end. I had completely forgotten about it, actually. Odom says, thank you, Destiny, for every walks. It's been a crazy Monday. Sorry to hear that. Looking forward to retirement. Yeah, I've been semi-retired since COVID, since the shutdown, because I lost my business, as I mentioned before, which ended up being, at the time, a good thing because I needed to completely devote myself to caregiving for my father. I had a small personal training business. I went to people's homes. They came into my home. But 90-plus-year-old father, uh, COVID going around, there was no way I could take a chance of exposing him. One of the vows I made as a caregiver at that time, especially as my father's congestive heart failure worsened, he was not going to die from COVID. He was not going to die alone, separated from those that he loved, unable to um, be with the people who loved him and who he loved. So I took that very seriously. And when things shut down, I stayed shut down. As long as my father was alive, I stayed shut down. And when he passed away, I just didn't feel like I was ready to start my business again. My clients were all gone. I'd be starting from scratch. I had some money saved up. So now my approach is to see what I can do here on YouTube. We'll see. So I understand all about the retirement. It's got to get better, Destiny says, and retirement is at your reach, Odom. Always compassionate advice, always compassionate words from our friend Destiny. Odom says, my body and mind will break down before I'm able to retire. Not necessarily. I hope not. My thoughts are with you, and I'm definitely sending energy your way, strength and energy. Do the things you need to do to take care of yourself now, Odom. Spend some time in meditation. Even more than meditation, if you look at on my channel, I have a playlist of Yoga Nidra, which is a guided meditation to provide deep rest, restorative rest, that you even don't get in sleep. So it's a conscious awakening, a conscious sleep. And you can lay down, you can lay on a bed, you can lay on a yoga mat, and they guide you through it. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, some are 40 minutes. And it's an extremely healing thing to do for yourself that helps you restore your body's natural energetic essence, as well as recharge the mind, recharge the spirit. It's definitely a gift that you can give yourself as often as possible. Destiny says, starting over can be a hard thing, Eric, especially when losing all your clients. It is, and also, I had a hard time wanting to do that again. It no longer felt part of me. It no longer felt natural. A lot of people were interested in, I had trained a lot of ultra runners, some athletes, some people who just wanted to get stronger, more fit. All of those are great things, but not everyone was at a point where they wanted to embrace wellness and well-being. And I was more and more drawn towards working with them for stress relief and for improving the sleep hygiene, improving the diet, steering them towards more compassionate choices in their diet, more empathetic choices in their diet, um, working with the foundation of yoga, not just the asanas, not just the postures, but the ethical, as well as the meditation, withdrawing of the senses, pranayama. And at the time, it just didn't seem, they wanted bigger biceps. They wanted a bigger bench press. They wanted to run faster and longer. And all of those are great goals, but I was no longer that teacher. After being the critical care caregiver for my father, making those life and death situations, um, I just wanted people to feel better emotionally, spiritually, and not just physically. And that meant a whole new clientele. And I wasn't, I don't know. I thought it might be easier just to come here and talk, which is what I've been doing. And slowly building an audience. The views aren't there yet where I need them to be, um, but I certainly do enjoy it. I certainly do enjoy coming here and talking with you guys and exploring all the things that we explore and the connections made. I truly value and cherish the connections that I made with every single one of you. Destiny, Odom, Lewis, Derek, all the ones that come here and visit, Hybrid Gem, all the ones that, Reverend, all the ones that don't find time to make it here. I value them as well. Destiny says, Odom, you got to believe it before you can receive it. Change your mindset and speak and agree with what you want. Stay positive with it until it manifests itself. Odom, you got this. Inspired words again from Destiny. Not just inspired words, inspired energy that she's putting out there on Odom's behalf. And I definitely joined in that, sending Odom all the positive energy in the universe. Because you know what? I truly do love his channel and what he does, and the seeing the joy in which he does stuff. Just same as the joy in which Destiny does stuff, because you can't help but watch it um, and come away being inspired and filled with joy and happy. And you know what? In a world that can be sometimes difficult, in a society that sometimes feels a little fractured, anything that can increase your joy, your happiness, make you feel good, bring a smile to your face that you want to offer to other people, that's the main thing. It's infectious. That if you walk away smiling, seeing Destiny on a treadmill, seeing Destiny jump rope, seeing 14 burpees, um, although I have to admit, I'm waiting for the 15th. I know it's coming. I know that we are days away from 15 burpees. If you hear Odom sing, if you hear him talk about his figs, you just, you walk away with a smile on your face and you want to share it with other people. I keep mentioning one of the things I absolutely love to do on my channel, and I wish I had a bigger audience just for this sake right now, is sharing those, sharing the videos that bring me joy, that inspire me, that make me happy. Some big channels, some small channels, just sharing them with other people so that they can get that same infectious energy out there. Odom says, thank you all. Been a long day. And Destiny says, yes, I love hearing Odom sing. Yes, definitely. Sorry for the long day, Odom. Especially on a Monday. Mondays are tough. It's just a certain energy to them. So, sorry, I got to check a quick message here. There we go. So, that's one of the important things I think that we do here in the chat, is that support that we lend each other, as well as coming together energetically and helping each other manifest the dreams, the inspirations, the goals that we have, um, working towards it, all of us together. We all have the one thing we all have in common across all backgrounds is we have those aspirations that we would like to um, put in reality. Destiny says, Eric, you are wheels in our carts that keep us up and running. Thank you. That's a extremely nice thing for you to say. I appreciate hearing that. Thank you for all your knowledge and wisdom. You know what? I think we all act that way for each other. Um, I would not be doing the things that I'm doing right now, and I can honestly say that without the inspiration from Destiny, without the inspiration from the Jay Jordan and Reverend Terminator, because you guys, in different ways, and then a little bit later with Odom as well, you guys in different ways have all been fearless in what you've done. You joyfully fierce. I like that expression. Um, that you're taking bold chances, you're putting yourself out there, you're allowing yourself to be vulnerable, you're shrugging off any little critical remark that some people unfortunately make to all of us. Um, and you just continue doing what you love to do, being on purpose, working with that intent. Um, that's important stuff, and it carries so much energy with it that, again, when you I'm bringing up a couple quotes. When you when I get a chance to participate with you guys, I am transformed for the better each and every time. It's almost like an virtual alchemy through the process of um, YouTube, through the process of sharing our time together. The base level of the things that I want are transformed into the gold of dreams and aspirations. So, I've mentioned before The Alchemist. Wonderful book. I can never pronounce the author's name. Paulo Coelho. Wonderful writer. I've read most of his books. The Alchemist, I always come back to. Every couple of years, I reread it. It's a small book. It is just filled with joyful wisdom. One of the quotes, I've read this before. And when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. All the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. It's the same sort of line from Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, written almost 3,000 years ago, when he talks about dormant forces coming to your aid. When you're aligned with intent, when you're aligned with that energy of manifestation. Remember that the universe comes from nothing, from a void. That same energy, because there's no separation from any object in the universe itself, including us. There's really no objects. There's just the universe expressing itself in individual ways, but it's still the universe. That includes you, that includes me, includes a rock, includes my computer. Everything is just a manifestation of the universe itself. which means nothing is out of our reach. I think I told the story before of the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi when he wanted to build his university for yogic studies, yogic and Vedic studies, and he was asked by a reporter, where will the money come from to open this university, to buy it, to fund it? And he just laughed and said, from wherever it is now. That's the secret to manifestation. That's the secret to any miracle. It's not that these things don't exist. Everything comes from nothing. That means the potentiality of everything is already here. We just need to draw it to us, which is easy because we are the universe itself. Does that mean that you're instantly going to get what you want? Maybe. If you have faith to the grain of a mustard seed, did I say that right? If you had that great faith, most of us don't. So there's a lag time. The key is to be persistent with those thoughts of what we want versus the thoughts of what we don't want. Destiny says, Eric, I call it, as my spirit points it out individually, for that moment. I know we have super amazing gifts, and we inspire and make each other whole when we come together. We certainly do, Destiny. It's the beautiful thing of community. And it's definitely, or actually, to use a better word, to use one of Destiny's words, fellowship, which is a word that I had not even thought about for a long time until I would hear Destiny use it, and it just fits perfectly. That what we have here is a fellowship of being, a fellowship of beingness, and we offer it to each other. Another quote from The Alchemist: it's the possibility of having a dream come true that makes life interesting. First, you have to have the dream. This is might seem a little off topic at first, but remember I was talking about patience and love. One is loved because one is loved. No reason is needed for loving. Sorry, I'm still going over quotes here. Here's one more. Maybe one more. Maybe I'll do one more after one more. Destiny says, I love that title. Did you say Fellowship of Beingness? I did say that. Correct me if I'm wrong. You are not wrong. That's exactly what I said. And it just felt right because we're all simply being. And that's the beauty of each and every one of our channels. It's just us. Nothing fancy. Just us being us. Odom in his homestead. Destiny on a treadmill, jumping rope, using the dumbbell, doing burpees. Lewis on his gym patio gym. Derek out in the parking lot or in his basement, hybrid gym hanging from his branch. Everyone's simply being. And that's so incredibly beautiful. And again, it's fearless because, I don't know, did you guys have the thought? I wonder if hybrid gym had the thought, who's going to want to see me hanging from a branch doing muscle ups, pull ups, dips. I know I certainly had the thought, who wants to see me doing burpees and then talking about yoga for an hour, um, or talking about meditation or reading my lyrical prose or whatever. But there's something that draws us to do it, to share it, and we do. I liken everything as art. My my particular art is my lyrical prose, and it always deals with nature, yoga, meditation, breath work. I just call it all yoga. Everything I write about is yoga. Um, and for me, everything is an opportunity to share my art. And the thing is, art doesn't truly become art until it's shared with others. Until then, it's just potential art. So you put it out there, and you gotta detach. You gotta let go of what you think people might say. There's going to be some negativity, because any positive thing you put out there is going to attract a shadow. And when you know that, you no longer worry about the shadow. You see it for what it is. It's just the shadow. And when you shine light on any shadow, it disappears. So when you're feeling that tinge of a shadow overcome you, and you're starting to have that doubt, shine that light inwards, shine that light upon yourself. And that's the important thing. Um, so, two more quotes here. Remember that wherever your heart is, there you will find your treasure. So, Odom, that quote's for you, because your heart is so obviously in your um, homestead, in your garden. That's where your treasure is, for sure. All right, and the last one. Before I read it, let me answer. I love football. What is your favorite football team? I don't know, as I have one. I have favorite football teams through the eras, through the years. I love the 1965 to the 1968 Green Bay Packers. I love the Miami Dolphins of 1972. I love the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I was born in Pittsburgh, um, of the 70s, 1971 up until 1980, actually, as well as the Cowboys during that time. Um, and then I love individual players, particularly the ones that came from the Pittsburgh area. Um, Johnny Unitas, the great quarterbacks, almost all of them came from Joe Namath, came from the Pittsburgh area. Joe Montana. Um, I know I'm forgetting one, who was the one for the Dolphins back in the 90s. I'm not a huge football fan, but I love athletes and what they can do. Um, so thanks for answering that. If you want to ask me who I think is going to win the Super Bowl, um, Kansas City, based upon absolutely nothing. Based upon the fact that I know Kansas City is going to the Super Bowl. Odom says the Jay Jordan has the workout challenge. I'm going to upload some workout shorts, but I don't really know if I should on my channel, since I'm considered homesteaded gardening channel. I don't think it matters, but I don't know the rules of if YouTube even has those rules, because I'm going to do some nature videos, hopefully. I'm thinking of digging into my funds and ordering a camcorder and Elway. Thank you. And Destiny says, yoga is your purpose. I found you in search of you looking for your purpose. We don't have to find our purpose, for our purpose will always find us. That's a repeat. I agree. Thank you. Which is, Odom says his 49ers are going to win. you know what? I not being not having a horse in this race. Before the football season started, I became a Raiders fan because of the fashion and the love that It Is What It Is has for the Raiders. So, in honor of my friend Odom, I will be rooting for the 49ers. Also, Joe, the Hawk. I hope you guys visit his channel. He's doing amazing things. Um, he's a 49ers fan. So, in honor of my friendship, I am officially rooting for the 49ers to win the Super Bowl. Living near Baltimore, I probably should have been rooting for the Ravens during the playoffs. I didn't really think of them one way or the other. Being from Pittsburgh, I could have been rooting for Pittsburgh. Um, but from this moment on, I am supporting the 49ers. Destiny is answering Odom. Your channel is a gardening channel, but you can create a section for your fitness and shirts video. I always sort of thought that if it was a vlog, you put whatever stuff might suit you. Because like I said, I'm going to put up some nature videos. I don't know if that kind of stuff gets flagged. Do they say that you're off topic? Destiny is offering some great advice to Odom. Short videos, Odom, the computer changes word spelling. So, one last quote from The Alchemist. This sums up basically what we've been talking about, with the exception of football. Tell your heart that the fear of suffering is worse than the suffering itself, and that no heart has ever suffered when it goes in search of its dreams, because every second of the search is the second's encounter with God and with eternity. Stuff like that just rings so true. Odom says, I thought about uploading on my short stream channel, but I don't have many friends in that channel. Are they separate channels? I thought shorts were just part of our regular channel. I should figure this stuff out. Destiny says, love the quotes, Eric. I love that last quote. So do I. It's a wonderful book. I think it has less than 60 pages. And it's filled with deep, deep wisdom, universal truths. Valley Feast says, hello. Hello. What was the question? In regards to what? I think we had lots of questions. We had a question from football fan. Was that his name? I love football. Sorry. I apologize. My favorite football team, which again, as of now, my favorite football team is the 49ers. I did like Joe Montana back in the 80s, as well as Jerry Rice, who I still absolutely love, because he shows up at 49ers training camp every year and takes the rookies on a hill run and smokes every single one of them. He's in his 60s and no one can keep up with him. He's still a fitness fanatic. Destiny says, go for it, Odom, and you can build the second channel for new people. That's true. You can have your shorts mainly for fitness stuff. And as you're starting some of your workouts over, you can put it out there that this is to hold yourself accountable. This is a new aspect, new part of your journey. So it gives you a chance to, as Destiny said, build a new channel, or build a new outlet, I guess is a better way of saying it. So um, with that, guys, that last quote, and very much enjoying the conversation that we had, guys. I appreciate it. Gonna say goodbye, and we'll pick this up. The Fellowship of Beingness will pick this up tomorrow. Whoever can join us, everyone is welcome. Um, everyone is a valued member, because all of us are beingness. All of us are being itself. So there's the impossibility of anything being excluded when it's based upon the beingness, existence itself. Destiny says, thanks for the conversation and fellowship, Eric and Odom. Thank you. Thank you, Odom. Thank you, Destiny. Thank you, I Love Football and Valley Feast. Valley Feast, I'm going to check out your channel. I really like that name. So, thank you, guys, and I will see you tomorrow.